What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 809 and the first episode of Underground Sports Philadelphia here in 2026. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo, hopefully getting your new year off to the start that it needs, because quite frankly, the Eagles didn't help us today as I record this on Sunday night. But nonetheless, we're still going to the playoffs. We're going to talk about that. We know who we'll be playing. We know when we'll be playing them. We have the whole playoff schedule set up. We got a lot to talk about. From the Eagles, there's Phillies news floating around out there. We've got Flyers and Sixers to also talk about, and just a little housekeeping now. As we head into 2026 here at Underground, just some things to keep your eyes and ears peeled on as we move forward here in this new year. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. It really helps us continue to grow and move towards what our ultimate goal here is in this launch pad year that is 2026, to help us reach those new heights, those new levels of what we want to achieve. So please subscribe and follow on social, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're on every social platform. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and KBIZZLE11 on Instagram, Threads, and on TikTok it's at KB Underground. And the same with my personal YouTube as well. Subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod, subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. Goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire network of podcasts. We are working on figuring some things out because this show is hosted on a different platform as opposed to our other shows. But we are working on getting this show viewable on Spotify as well in video form. So if you're a Spotify user, stay tuned for that. Don't be alarmed if you start seeing video content from us on Spotify. We're just testing it out, testing the waters to see if it's an improvement for us here in the new year with all of our shows on the network. So be sure to follow on Spotify, leave a 5-star rating, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star rating and review. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of the original 6 shows on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We are at 1,238 subscribers since we last recorded. We hit that 2 times mark, baby. We doubled our entire subscriber count from all of 2024. So a big thank you to everybody who helped out in that effort and subscribe to the channel. Welcome to all of our new subscribers. Hopefully you'll stick around and won't become just ghost subscribers. But thank you for helping us reach that goal. It is truly the biggest and most efficient way to support us is watching the show, liking the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Click the bell icon so you don't miss a single video from us. And we do have, and I wish I would have thought of this almost 8 years ago, a name for the network, because then maybe this YouTube channel that we are currently on would have that name, and we'd have, just a more proper sequence of events. But if you've noticed over the past couple of days, new social accounts have popped up. The only one we haven't popped up on yet is Twitter. But on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Underground Industries. We changed our podcast network name on podcast platforms as well. And I kind of talked about that on this show a little bit. So a little housekeeping here before we get into the content, but it was difficult from a business perspective for me to pitched this show in particular, Underground Sports Philadelphia, which I would have never in a million years 8 years ago thought we'd be sitting here 8 years later with 7 year-round shows, a seasonal show with my high school's football coach, and a seasonal Olympics podcast on the network. But nonetheless, here we are. So when you grow and you have content ideas like that and you expand and you're just trying to, make sure everything is all I's are dotted, T's are crossed, it's just the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. And then you kind of box yourself into everyone thinking your content is Philly-based when we're covering things from a national perspective as well. This show, obviously, is Philly-based. And we want to see Philly teams do well across the board. Philly guys do well across the board. It's good for business. But when we're covering, IndyCar and F1, and there's no real relation to Philadelphia. When we're covering the PGA Tour, there's no real relation to Philadelphia, outside of, obviously, the Truist Classic that was in Philly this past summer, or spring, I should say. Obviously, we have the Wings and the Water Dogs in pro lacrosse, but we cover both leagues as a whole. And obviously, we're covering professional wrestling as well. And, we don't want it to be difficult for advertisers this year and moving forward to recognize what our content is, especially when this show is Underground Sports Philadelphia, and then they're like, what's the company name? What's the name of the business? And I tell them Underground Sports Philadelphia, and it's tough to differentiate the two. So we are still Underground Sports Philadelphia. This show will not be changing names. That name is synonymous here. Obviously, all of our shows have been birthed under that moniker. But we finally have a network name that is something I'm very excited about. I think it's a very cool name because it encapsulates everything we want to do as a company, and that is Underground Industries. It is at The Underground Industries on all social platforms we're on right now. Because we're trying to redefine the industry. We're trying to redefine what this digital media space in sports and entertainment is all about, and we're trying to make an industry of our own. So go follow at The Underground Industries on social. It's Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube at The Underground Industries. It really helps. We want to try to grow those accounts as big as possible. So definitely go follow them. Go check them out at The Underground Industries. Now that I've done enough of that housekeeping, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. Yes, my hometown is our presenting sponsor. Big shout out to them. And the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. The Eagles' backups did not do what I thought they would be able to do, and that's beat a piss-poor Washington Commanders defense. That is, contain a piss-poor Commanders offense and have a shot at the 2 seed which they did this entire game because at the end of the day, the Detroit Lions won. And if the Eagles would have walked away with a win, the 2 seed would have been ours. We would have had 2 guaranteed home games. We would have been playing the Green Bay Packers this coming week rather than our next opponent, which we will get into. And it was a bummer. It was a bummer. It was a letdown. Now, I'm not saying playing the backups was the wrong thing to do. I said on this very show last week, playing the starters was not the right thing to do. Give them the rest. But everyone's golden boy, and I'm not slandering Tanner McKee here, but everyone talked about Tanner McKee the last 2 weeks like he was Christ reborn. And guess what? He wasn't. Hate to break it to you. Your dreamy backup quarterback did not come through for you, and I wanted to just open the eyes of every single radio station member like this and make them watch as Tanner McKee struggled in this offense that today's game, or I should say Sunday's game because you're all listening to this on Monday, Sunday's game showcased what has been the problem all season long, and that is Kevin Patullo. That is the coaching of this offense. Tank Bigsby was spectacular in this game. I want to see what he was actually averaging overall. What did he end up averaging yards per carry in this game? Because he was sensational, and they just took the ball out of his hands. Tank Bigsby was averaging almost 5 yards a carry in this game. 16 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown. It was like they were forcing the passing game, and it just was not there. Tanner McKee threw the ball 40 times in this game, got sacked 3 times. We've seen Tanner play in the preseason, and let me tell you, this was the slowest I think Tanner McKee has ever looked to me. He looked like he had molasses feet, and threw a very costly interception that was like an absolute no-no in so many phases. It was in the red zone. It was on 3rd down, if I'm remembering correctly. And it led to the Commanders getting points. That's the end-all, be-all there. They got points off turnover. Darius Cooper with a taunting penalty, which I think is the stupidest penalty in the NFL. The fact that we are penalizing grown-ass men for showcasing emotions when they are going out and putting their bodies on the line, and we're throwing flags because a guy spins a ball and looks at another player. These are grown men. Let them taunt. This is not like peewee football. And this is a problem league-wide, and this is a problem I have with the NFL, with the rules committee. The fact that we're like trying to like set this example for the kids and everything. Guess what? Charles Barkley said it best. Athletes are not role models all the time. Okay? Just because they taunt in a game shouldn't automatically correlate to the higher-ups at the NFL. Oh, we can't let taunting happen because kids are watching. That's just crazy. I want to look up what the average age demo graphic for NFL fans. NFL interest by age 2025. Like, the average age demo is is 35 to 54. That is your average age. I get you're trying to bring in kids and everything because, flag football. But guess what? It's grown men. Let them taunt. It's part of the game. Shit talking is what makes us human. It's the competitive nature. I will never understand the taunting penalty. I will always be pissed off about it. I don't care. It drives me crazy. And that Darius Cooper penalty there led to the interception and led to us not scoring there because we were driving, and that was a bummer. Tank Bigsby, a 31-yard reception in this game too, and they just took the ball out of his hands. Drives me absolutely nuts. But hey, last episode after the Bills game, so last week we talked about Jalen Hunt and the Jalen Hunt hive, everyone. Jalen Hunt became the first player in Eagles history to lead the team in sacks and interceptions in a single season, because Jalen Hunt had his third interception today and led the team in sacks this year. I have been a Jalen Hunt supporter and fan from the very beginning. 6.5 sacks, 3 interceptions. It's crazy that he has more interceptions than any member of our secondary. But Jalen Hunt, man, it just feels good to have been right about somebody and knowing that they are a star in the making, and to see him achieve that and become the first Eagles player ever. Something about that number 58. Something about that number 58. First Eagles player ever to lead a team in sacks and interceptions is pretty damn remarkable. And, you know, I know it wasn't the ideal game today, and Jalen Hunt probably would tell us that, hey, we should have won this game. I'm giving a tip of the cap there. Tip of the cap to Jalen Hunt for an incredible 2025 season. And I know the playoffs are still coming. He's going to ball out in the playoffs, but to accomplish something that has never been done in Eagles history before just speaks volumes to the talent and the rise that Jalen Hunt has been on. And our tip of the cap, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by our awesome pals over at 47. I'm rocking the Kelly Green rope hitch style hat right now. I just had an order from 47 come in today of all days. Very sweet Flyers and Phillies hat that I cannot wait to wear out on the town. 47's the best in the headwear game, guys. Let me tell you, they are my favorite hat. No doubt about it. Every single hat I'm wearing now is 47. Their apparel is second to none. And right now they have a sale going on for a limited time. Extra 25% off reduced sale styles with code EXTRA25. That is going on through January 15th. So you still have some time. Through January 15th, get an extra 25% off at checkout. Already reduced sale products with code EXTRA25 when you use our link in the description to shop with 47, and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. So join the 47 family, get 25% off already reduced sale styles with code EXTRA25 at checkout. And shout out to 47 for being a proud partner and the official headwear partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Jalen Hunt, man. I mean, there's an argument he's like team MVP this year. Like, let's not get it twisted. There's an argument that Jalen Hunt is the Philadelphia Eagles team MVP this year. And, you know, there's a couple other guys in that mix that I would not argue against whatsoever. But Jalen Hunt deserves all the flowers. He deserves all the praise for how incredible of a season he's had this year, and just all the hard work he put in to just continue to grow and develop under Vic Fangio and make it so that people had to put respect on his name. Just an incredible season from number 58 in Eagles green. And I can't wait to see what he does in the playoffs, because he's been spectacular and he's only going to continue to grow from here. And what was that? What was the year he was drafted? 2024. So, like, he was drafted last year. Like, next year, oh, my gosh. He's going to have 10 sacks next year. I'm already booking it right here. What is it? January 5th, 2026, excuse me. January 5th, 2026. I'm booking it right now here on the show. The 2026 NFL season, way too early prediction. We're going to come back to this. Jalen Hunt will finish the season with 10-plus sacks. Barring, which we never want to wish for injuries, barring any injuries or what have you. Jalen Hunt is on the field, plays every game, 10-plus sacks in 2026. Book it. book it. But again, like this game, none of the starters played. I'm not going to get worked up about it. It's just disappointing that the 2 seed was there for the taking, and you squandered it by not coming through in the clutch and winning. So now you're the 3 seed. The Eagles are the 3 seed. And what does that mean? In essence, you're not guaranteed a second home game in the postseason. You will have the 1 home game in the wild card round. We'll see how everything else transpires. Maybe the Packers pull an upset over the Bears. Maybe the Rams pull an upset over the Panthers. We see some of the lower seeds pull some upsets not named. The San Francisco 49ers, who are coming back to Philadelphia. 49ers are coming back to Philly in the playoffs for the first time since that 2022 NFC Championship game, and obviously they played here in 2023 during the regular season. But it will be Eagles, 49ers in the wild card round on Sunday, January 11th, so next Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on Fox. Playoffs are set. It'll be Rams-Panthers on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on... I don't even know what. Let's see what the things are here. Here we are. Let's see. NFL. Why do we not have the schedule? Playoff bracket. Okay, so it'll be Rams-Panthers on Saturday at 4:30 on Fox, followed by Packers at Bears on Amazon Prime at 8 p.m. on Saturday. And then the 1 o'clock on CBS is Jacksonville and Buffalo. That's going to be a phenomenal game. That's at 1 p.m. on CBS. And then it is Eagles-49ers on Fox at 4:30 on Sunday. And then Sunday Night Football, Chargers-Patriots at 8 p.m. And then the Monday game is Steelers hosting the Texans on ESPN. Listen, okay? The Eagles, even in this situation, I think they have a shot to go on a run. I think they have a shot to go on a run. I like the matchup against the 49ers. I like the Packers matchup a little bit more, but the 49ers cannot stop the run whatsoever. Their defense is banged up. They are they're banged up on defense. Their offense is playing good. Don't get that twisted. I understand that. But I think the Eagles have a shot. I think the Eagles have a shot to really shock some people. They're opening up as 3.5-point favorites, according to DraftKings, no free ads, at home against the 49ers. I think the Eagles have the talent, man. Like, just defensively, I think they can get after Purdy, who's banged up. He took that big hit in the Seahawks game. You know, McCaffrey's healthy, but do the 49ers receivers scare me? I don't think so. You know, Jawan Jennings is Jawan Jennings. Okay. Ricky Pearsall, who's questionable. He was out. Is he out for... He's dealing with a knee and ankle injury, so we'll see what his deal is come next week. Trent Williams, out with a hamstring. That's a huge deal. I don't know, man. Like, their receivers don't scare me when you have Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and Adoree Jackson. And yes, I'm saying Adoree Jackson because we witnessed what we witnessed today with the backup corners. You have Reed Blankenship out there. Marcus Epps out there. I feel like okay. Like, I'm not nervous. I feel like the Eagles are going to give one hell of an effort against this 49ers team, and you just look at the 49ers defense, like Bryce Huff is starting for them, who couldn't even get on the field for the Eagles last year. You know, they're a young defense in a lot of spots too. I feel good about where the Eagles offense can play, and if they can execute on offense, I'm feeling good, and there's potential for them to, you know, go and play either against the Bears or whomever, you know, how the playoffs would shake out. I feel comfortable right now. We'll see how I feel as the week moves on, but when I saw it was the 49ers for sure, I was a little nervous at first, but they're coming here, so they have to, you know, get on a plane, fly across the country, and I don't know, man. Like, Purdy's banged up. Like, Brock Purdy. You hurt his shoulder on the last offensive play. Let's see. It was a neck stinger or shoulder stinger. His thumb was bloodied after he was hit in the second half. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's brutal. And we all know Purdy got knocked out of the game pretty early in 2022. And that was the NFC Championship game, no less. But I feel okay right now as I sit here talking to you guys on a Monday. That could be just me Monday morning quarterbacking, and when we're sitting here and, you know, you're listening to Thursday's episode, I can have completely different mindset because we'll have more information. We'll know some things. But on a confidence meter right now, I trust Jalen Hurts. I trust A.J. Brown. I trust Devontae Smith. Trust Saquon. It's the offensive line coming up big. That's what we're going to need. Obviously, it feels like Lane Johnson's going to be back for the playoffs, which is huge, huge, huge. You know, you got Juergens off his feet this week. You got Landon Dickerson off his feet. You got Mailata off his feet. You got Steen off his feet, I believe. Because I didn't see him standing up and down, so I don't think he played in this one. I want to see something here. Let me see. Player stats. Eagles. Yeah, I don't think he did. I could be wrong, but nonetheless, it's one of those games that on the confidence meter, I trust our defense, obviously, full send. Our starting defense I trust with my entire being. And I trust Jalen Hurts with my entire being. I trust A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley. I trust Tank Bigsby to be an X factor. I'm sitting at like between a 7.9 and 8.1 right now. It's a little wabi-sabi going into this one, but that's my confidence level right now, pending anything else. Simply because I trust our defense to do what they're capable of doing. And I mean, our backup defense, again, the only 100-yard rushers the Eagles surrendered this year were DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai. One game where we allowed a 100-yard rusher. Granted, it was 2, and I know I say that every time, but it's only one game. So that's pretty damn impressive from the Eagles defense. But yeah, 1-2 in the Kelly Greens this year. Not great after starting the Kelly Green Crusade undefeated. 1-2 this year. 1-2 in the division in Kelly Green this year. First home loss in Kelly Green, I believe. Yeah. Oof. Ugh. Not fun. But nonetheless, playoffs are set, and I think it's going to be an insane NFL playoffs. I mean, we got a playoff game tonight on Sunday Night Football. The Steelers and the Ravens game was absurd. The fourth quarter was bonkies. The way that things transpired, I could not believe my eyes with what I was watching. It was absolutely crazy. The Steelers are going to the playoffs. The Ravens are going home. And if the playoffs are like that, holy moly, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because we're in for a ride. But yeah, it's the 49ers. And I love the Eagles' mindset going into this week. You know, in the post-game locker room media availability, half the guys didn't even know who we were playing. Now, that could be just, you know, playing it close to the vest, what have you, but they basically said, we don't care who we have to play, you know, and obviously they got to come here, so I love the mindset. They don't care who it was on the schedule. They're focused on the playoffs now, and they know what it takes. They know what it takes to win and what it takes to get to the mountaintop. This is the most, like, in sync roster we will have, I think, because you're coming off of that Super Bowl win with a majority of those guys back, and just the culture in the locker room of what it's going to take to get the job done. So I'm not worried about this game at all that happened on Sunday. Yes, it sucks we didn't get the 2 seed, but yes, it was the correct decision to not play the starters at all outside of Devontae Smith, which congrats to Smitty. 1K yet again, 3rd straight season. 3rd season that both he and A.J. Brown have had 1,000-yard receiving seasons, 2022, 2023, 2025. How did it not happen last year? That's what I want to know. How did Smitty and A.J. not have 1,000-yard receiving seasons last year? Was it Smitty? I would be kind of shocked. 2024. Yeah, because Devontae missed time. Okay. So he would have had it had he not missed 3 games. I forgot Devontae missed games. That's nuts. I forgot Devontae missed the 4 games, actually. Yeah, he missed 4 games. Wow. Lowest touchdown output for Devontae this year. That's brutal. That's brutal for me. I bet his over touchdowns this year. He's been automatic getting in the end zone for lowest amount of touchdowns he has scored in his career in a season. That sucks. But hey, Smitty's a baller. Deserve that 1K. He and AJ are the first duo to do that ever. Lot of firsts this year for the Eagles. And in a year where the offense feels like it's been so wonky, they certainly accomplished a lot. So we'll see what the playoffs bring. We're going to be sitting here on Wednesday recording, Thursday episode, gearing up for the playoffs. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. That's going to be crazy. My blood pressure is going to be through the roof. Playoff football, man. Playoff football. Before I keep it pushing, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company, guys. You want to stand out in the crowd here in the new year, there's no better place to do it than with our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. With their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Get your official Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch, hoodies, shirts, all that good stuff. Go to phiapparel.co and use code UNDERGROUND at checkout to get 10% off your next merch order from our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's phiapparel.co, code UNDERGROUND, 10% off your next merch order. And stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Also want to talk to you guys about our good pals at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder, see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap. Excuse me. I need to wake up. Go to kenwoodbeer.com, see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Maryland, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores, convenience stores, and grocery stores in those markets. Just use that Kenny Finder at kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. Let's shift to the baseball diamond, shall we? Because big news over the weekend. Dropping from John Heyman that the Philadelphia Phillies are interested in one Bo Bichette, the superstar infielder from the Toronto Blue Jays. Strong interest from the Red Sox, the Yankees, Cubs, Dodgers, and of course the incumbent Toronto Blue Jays, but also now the Phillies hat has been thrown into the mix. Obviously, we know the Phillies re-signed Kyle Schwarber, $150 million contract for 5 years over the offseason. They've added Adolis Garcia on a 1-year deal. They traded Matt Strahm for Kyle Backus. They traded Matt Strahm for somebody else. Who did they trade Matt Strahm for? Who was the pitcher? Jonathan Bolin. So they traded Matt Strahm. They acquired Kyle Backus from the Arizona Diamondbacks. They signed Brad Keller. They've signed Zach Pop. And we're waiting on JT Realmuto. But obviously, we have Trey Turner, locked in at shortstop. He was sensational last year. Arguably one of his best seasons of his career. 304 batting average, /304, 355, 457 in 141 games. 6th best WRC plus among qualified shortstops. Lowered his strikeout rate. Hit 15 home runs, stole 36 bases. He was worth 2 defensive runs saved this year, as well as 16 outs above average. Who Bo Bichette is not good defensively. That is a huge thing. Bichette would need to play second or third if he was going to sign with the Phillies. And obviously, Bryson Stott is here. Alec Boehm is here. It would be fascinating because you would almost have to move Stott to third, which I don't like. And Boehm, he's entering the last year of team control. He's projected for a $10.3 million salary in arbitration. I don't know if this is just Bichette being, the Phillies being used for Bichette to, get more from the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, whomever, or if the Phillies have genuine interest. I feel like we're not going to truly know anything until JT signs or does not re-sign. I feel like JT is the biggest domino right now for this Phillies offseason. And as we sit here on January 5th, ladies and gentlemen, he's still not re-signed. There's no rumblings of one way or the other if he's going to sign or not re-sign. And I think that is a huge domino because people are putting out these projected lineups for the Phillies. And you see it with Rafael Marchand in there. And this is no slight to Marchand, but without JT in that lineup, the Phillies lineup looks bleak after the first 4 guys. After you go Turner, Schwarber, Harper, and Adolis Garcia, you got Brandon Marsh hitting 5th, and you guys know I'm a Marsh stan, but he is so much better suited to be hitting 7th in a lineup. You have Boehm in the lineup hitting 6th. You have Stott in the lineup, Marchand in the lineup, Justin Crawford hitting 9th. it gets real bleak after those top 4 guys, and you need a JT Realmuto in there no matter how bad the offense looked last year. And I just, like, down the stretch, like the second half of the season, JT looked like a completely different player as opposed to the first half where he was abysmal. And, you know, I know we have high hopes for Justin Crawford and want him to succeed, but there's just like a lot missing from this starting 9 right now for the Philadelphia Phillies, and it gets me concerned because, you know, you're a month away from spring training, and I know there's still a lot of like big name free agents still on the market. As we look at the key free agents still available, you know, you have, let's see who's still out on the market. Who's still there? Those are all the signed people I want available. You know, Bregman, Bellinger, Jordan Montgomery, JT Realmuto, Nick Martinez, Chris Bassett, Starling Marte, Giolito, Framber Valdez, Miles Michaelis, Michael Conforto, Rhys Hoskins, Kyle Tucker, Marcelo Zuna, Frankie Montas, David Robertson, who's not going to sign until like midseason, Scherzer, Verlander, Alex Cobb, Yohan Moncada, Ranger Suarez, Zach Gallen, Shota Imanaga, I think is going back to the Cubs, and maybe Gallen's going back to the Cubs. The qualifying offer, did he accept? I don't know if he accepted the QO. I thought Imanaga accepted the qualifying offer. You know, Goldschmidt is still out there. Bichette, obviously, is a qualifying offer guy. Nathaniel Lowe, Taylor Rogers, Kepler, Gino Suarez, Rengifo. There's a lot of big name free agents. Harrison Bader. Still a lot of big name free agents out on the market, and I feel like a lot of people are like trying to rush the JT thing. And I'm like, do we not realize Kyle Tucker still hasn't signed? Like Cody Bellinger still hasn't signed. Like there's still a lot of big name guys that have not signed yet. And I think almost like Bellinger and Bichette and Bregman and all of them are almost like waiting for Kyle Tucker to blink, and Kyle Tucker's waiting for one of them to blink so that he kind of has a baseline. But I mean, it's going to be a fascinating month of January because I feel like this is when we're going to get some dominoes starting to get kicked and blown down. But I don't know. It feels like a weird offseason so far. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. You can call the show whenever. Voicemail line. I'll listen to them, play them on the show, react to them all the time. Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. But yeah, the Bo Bichette news is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I don't know what to make of it yet, just because it felt like one of those things that Heyman does. And Heyman's very in the know with the Phillies. Who is Bo Bichette's agent? That is a good question, actually. Vanier Sports. Who is Vanier Sports? Is that... Oh, he's with Gary V. Vayner Sports. Who is with Gary V? Some interesting... Oh, Harrison Bader. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Huh. Okay. That... We may be connecting some dots there. We got Bo Bichette on the same agency as Harrison Bader. Huh. That to me could just say, hey, we are leveraging the Phillies, so then maybe we can get a deal cut for you for Harrison Bader. I don't know. I may be like reading the tea leaves far too much, but that is an interesting thing right there to have stumbled upon. But let me know what you guys think about the Bo Bichette news, because John Heyman's always in the know with the Phillies. So for him to put it out, I trust that there's something there, but I don't know exactly what. And I don't know if I believe that Bo Bichette is the big swing for the fence move for the Phillies this offseason. So let me know. Drop a comment. Drop a podcast review. Leave me a voicemail. Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. What have you. All that good stuff. Tweet at me. Who knows? Whatever you feel comfortable doing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you. Bo Bichette. That would be a fascinating move, to say the least. But let us shift from the baseball diamond there to the Philadelphia 76ers, who are on a 3-game win streak since we've last talked Sixers and last recorded. They beat the Grizzlies in overtime on December 30th in Memphis. They beat the Mavericks in Dallas 123-108 on New Year's Day. And then they beat the New York Knicks on Saturday 130-119 in very convincing fashion with everybody on the floor. Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, all on the floor together. Jared McCain obviously played as well. But you had Embiid, Maxey, and Edgecombe all with 26-plus points. Paul George with 15 points. This is what it feels like when you have your entire complement of players. You go out and you beat a team like the New York Knicks. And the Sixers right now are the 5 seed in the East. They're a game and a half back of the Toronto Raptors. And guess who they have 2 games in Toronto against next week? Sunday, Monday, doubleheader, back-to-back. Toronto. They don't play again until 8:30 tonight against the Nuggets at home. And then they are home on Wednesday. And then they're on the road on Friday in Orlando. And then they go up to Toronto Sunday and Monday before coming back home on Wednesday to play the Cavs and play them on Friday as well. But they're the 5 seed right now, and they're playing good hoops. 3-game win streak on the Disney on Ice road trip. This is what it feels like when you are able to have everybody on the floor. And I just saw a fascinating headline. Who wrote this article? I don't know who that is. Talking about Gershon Yabusele. Huh. They might be cutting Yabu. Interesting. That is fascinating for sure. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Interesting. The Yabu experience. Why would the Mavericks target Jared McCain? We would be silly to trade Jared. No. I love what this young core. Sorry, I pondered off into the headlines of what's coming out about the Sixers, but they're hooping right now. They're playing good ball, 3-game win streak, and that's exactly what I called for after the Bulls game. And after the Thunder game, I wasn't like all too concerned. I was like, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, like what have you. But the Bulls, the Nets, you had the Hawks game in there in mid-December as well, but that sour taste in your mouth after the 3-game losing streak. You rebound 3 games in a row now. Now you play the Nuggets. That'll be an interesting game. We'll see if Embiid plays, since it's not necessarily a back-to-back. But I'm comfortable with where the Sixers are now, and we'll have Aaron Grugan back on in the coming episodes. But you're sitting at 19-14 right now. We've said all along, like, this is such a house money year because you don't know what to expect from anybody outside of really Tyrese Maxey. Everything else is kind of a crapshoot, and you're just hoping for the best. And right now, you're getting, I think, as close to the best as possible. And I love Bobby Marks coming out and saying that Tyrese Maxey needs to be considered an MVP candidate and an MVP favorite. I totally agree. Like, without Tyrese Maxey, where are the Sixers? And I get the MVP is so misconstrued, and it's probably going to go to somebody like Cade Cunningham, and he's balled out this year for sure. But at the end of the day, where are the Sixers without Tyrese Maxey, who is averaging far more points? He's got way better statistics than Cade right now, and that's no slight to Cade, but man, Tyrese Maxey is putting on masterclass performances. He's averaging 31.1 points per game. He's averaging 39.8 minutes per game. He's shooting 47.5% from the field, 40.4 from 3. He's hitting 88% of his free throws. Almost 5 rebounds a game, 7 assists a game, almost 2 steals per game, averaging almost 1 block per game now. He's been unbelievable. And I think he really deserves a lot of that MVP consideration. So, kudos to the Sixers for bouncing back and really showcasing that, they're not going away quietly. Even though, it's not an ideal season, what have you. They're still balling out. They're still playing good basketball. And I think the Sixers team is going to be sticking around for quite some time this year. And we'll see what happens, And that's the fun part of a team like this is it's just a wait-and-see game. And if you get in the dance, anything can happen. And I think what we have seen from Tyrese, from VJ, when Paul George is healthy, what we've seen from guys like Dominic Barlow, what we have seen from Joel Embiid, obviously, what we've seen from Drummond, what we've seen from Kelly Oubre. Hopefully he's back soon. Like, that's the other thing. They're doing this without one of their key, day one season starters and a key component to this rotation in Kelly Oubre. So we'll see. I'm excited for what is to come here in the 2026 portion of the 76ers season. And, the trade deadline is, February, early February? NBA trade deadline 2026. Trade deadline is February 5th. February 5th. What day of the week is that? So a month from today is the trade deadline. It's a Thursday. A month from today is the trade deadline. So yeah, Sixers are hooping. Shout out to Tyrese. Shout out to VJ. VJ Edgecomb's been playing out of his mind, man. He's been playing out of his mind. It's so fun. He's such a fun player. I'm so happy that I was wrong about him at first, and then as time went on and I just saw his talents, I was just enamored with him, and he is going to be a superstar in the NBA for a decade plus, and I'm so thrilled that he's going to be doing it in Philadelphia. So shout out to VJ Edgecombe. Before I keep it pushing, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome new pals over at Riverside. If you're watching the show on YouTube, Spotify, or any of our shows here at Underground Industries now, you are seeing that they have a new format, layout. They have a new look to them. They sound a lot better. That is because we are recording in Riverside, and Riverside is the number one industry standard when it comes to podcast recording from the comfort of your own home, whether you're doing remote recordings, what have you. Riverside is the best, and we have been with Riverside now for a little over a month, and I got to tell you guys, when it comes to what Riverside is able to put forward for you, second to none. It's designed to simplify high-quality video and audio recording and editing for a variety of talking head use cases, including podcasts, interviews, short clips, webinars, and marketing or educational content. Riverside has changed the game for us. It allows us to create clips on a much faster rate for you guys, segments, gets the episodes looking pristine for you all in truly high definition, and the sound quality on the audio is just second to none. You guys can get started. Make your podcast sound good, look good, feel good, and be good in 2026. Use our link to sign up and join Riverside today. It is the easiest switch you will make. It is cost efficient, and it will make your podcast the best it can be. So use our link in the description to make the switch to Riverside, and we thank Riverside for being a proud new partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Also want to talk to you guys about our friends over at Biñho. Guys, Biñho is the next big tabletop game for your man cave, your she shed, your tailgates, your parties, what have you. You break out the Biñho board, you are going to be the talk of your event. It is paper football meets foosball for the next big tabletop flicking experience. You guys can go use our link in the description and shop with Biñho. That way they know you are coming from us. And when you fill up your cart, get your officially licensed Premier League boards, your Philadelphia Union boards, get all the already made boards that Biñho has available for you. And when you go to checkout, use code Biñho Bennett 62 to get 10% off your next order from Biñho. So again, use our link in the description. When you go to checkout, code Biñho Bennett 62. Make sure you pop that into the code section there. And then you get 10% off your next order from our friends at Biñho. And guys, shout out to Biñho for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Last bit here, I want to talk about the Flyers. Obviously an ugly game on New Year's Eve, but nonetheless, they bounce back in fun fashion on Saturday against the Oilers and win 5-2. Nick Seeler, Owen Tippett, Bobby Brink, Travis Sanheim, and the first career NHL goal for Denver Barkey. We're barking for Denver Barkey. 20 years old to do it in Canada. He's from Newmarket, Canada, in southern Ontario. Really cool for him, I'm sure, to just pop off and score up in the old Canadian area. Obviously not as close to Edmonton as you would think, but nonetheless, still scoring in Canada has got to be pretty cool for Denver Barkey. And he gets on the board, lights the lamp, beautiful goal. And the Flyers win 5-2. They are 21-12-7, currently sitting in third place in the Metropolitan by 1 point behind the Islanders, who have 2 games in hand against them, and they are 4 points behind the Hurricanes, who also have two games in hand against them. They're playing good hockey. They're tied with the Penguins in points. They played one less game than the Penguins, who are 20-12-9. When football season's all wrapped, we're going to have to get Wes Euler on this show to talk Flyers-Penguins, because that's going to be an absolute doozy, let me tell you. I love the way this team's playing, man. They're just playing such good hockey. And pull up the current stats for the Fly guys. You know, Trevor Zegras 39 points, Konechny 36 points, Owen Tippett 25, Dvorak 25, Matt Vamichkov with 23, Couturier with 23, Noah Cates with 22, and Bobby Brink with 20. Sanheim with 18, Drysdale with 18, Cam York with 16, Tyson Forster, even though he's been out, with 13. Tyson Forster would have been having like a career year. What is his all-time? What's his best season? Let's see. 2025-26 versus. Yeah, I mean he was on pace to have a career year. Man, that injury is just so brutal. It sucks. And I mean Zegras leading the way with goals. 15, Konechny 13, Tippett 13, Bobby Brink 11, Noah Cates with 10, Forster with 10, Dvorak with 9, Michkov with 9, Carl Grunstrom with 7, Coots with 5, Sanheim with 4, Jamie Drysdale with 3, Rodrigo Abels with 2, Cam York with 2, Grebenkin with 2, Sealer scored his first, obviously, this weekend, Emil Andre and Denver Barkey. You have 19 guys who have recorded at least one goal, and you have, 6 guys with at least 10. It's pretty damn good. And you look at the assist category, Zegers with 24, Konechny with 23, Coots with 18, Dvorak with 16, Drysdale with 15, Sanheim with 14, York with 14, Michkov with 14, 12 for Tippett, 12 for Cates, 10 guys in double-digit assists for the Flyers. And the fact that they are here in the new year with the point total that they have, and you look at their upcoming schedule, and I know we've done the schedule talk a ton, but, boom, you got 2 points in your first game in January. You got the Ducks, the Maple Leafs, and the Lightning in your next 3 games. We look at the standings here. The Ducks, they're a quality team, but in the same stratosphere as the Flyers, 45 points this year. You look at the Maple Leafs, they stink. They're in the basement in the Atlantic Division. They stink. They're 19, 15, and 7. They are such a beatable team. And then the Lightning are a quality team. They're in first place in the Atlantic Division with 53 points. But that's attainable. Like, you're in that echelon to go and compete with them. And I think if the Flyers can walk away from this next 3 stretch of games here this week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, with a max total of 6, if they can walk away with 4 to 5 points, I'll feel really good. I'll feel really good. 3 at minimum, but if they can get 4 to 5 points, easy pickings, okay? So, yeah, the Fly Guys are playing well. I'm excited. I hope you're all excited about this team. I know we've been emphasizing it a ton, and, I can only say so much when I'm hosting the show solo, but man, oh man, am I having fun watching the Flyers. I am having fun watching the Philadelphia Flyers. Let me know if you are. Speakpipe.com/undergroundsportsphiladelphia. And I told you guys a little housekeeping here. We talked about it a little bit at the top of the show, but be sure to follow and subscribe to Underground Industries on social media and on YouTube. That is our new network channel. We are going to be doing a lot with those accounts. Obviously, I can't transfer over pods to that channel and make this channel that you're watching everything on strictly Underground Sports Philadelphia. But we're collaborating with that channel so you can watch everything over there. There's going to be a lot of original content over there. There will be a lot of fun stuff coming from Underground Industries in 2026. We laid it out on the last episode between the Olympics, the World Baseball Classic, the All-Star Weekend in Philadelphia, the World Cup. That's just the first half of the year. And that goes without saying, hopefully another Super Bowl run for the Eagles. Hopefully, we're gearing up for what will be a World Series season for the Phillies. Playoff hockey for the first time since we started this company. Another PLL season, hopefully a strong season for the Philadelphia Wings. There's a lot to be excited about, and we have so many projects in the can. We have a top secret project that is coming in the next couple of months. But the new network name, Underground Industries, Underground Sports Philadelphia, is simply the podcast that you are listening to for your favorite Philly sports takes and Philly sports analysis by fans for fans. I'm excited to build that out. It's a new challenge that I wish we would have had the foresight of 8 years ago. But Underground Industries, I'm excited. I love the name. We have a temporary logo with the black background and the globe, but we're working on some stuff to build out an actual brand package for Underground Industries and give it its identity full send. But I'm excited for this next chapter of this company. February will be 8 years. It's crazy. But I think when you're kind of the renegades of this wild, wild west that is internet media, you want to redefine it, and redefining the industry to give us that tagline, is pretty sweet, and I think it resonates with all of us, and none of our content is changing. Underground Sports Philadelphia is still going to be here twice a week, every week. Outside the box, nothing's changing except we're just getting funnier on that show. The house show with Pat Pitts is going to continue to grow. Obviously that's on its own channel, but it is building, it is growing. Streamer season's back in full force. We're excited about that. Get in the Hole is on hiatus until the spring with Steve's departure from the show. So we'll have more information on that as the springtime gets closer. Underground Circuit, they're doing amazing things. Obviously, they are still a huge cog in the wheel here at the network. And then Top Bins is doing Top Bins things, and we're working to get a true lockdown recording schedule for that, because I do miss talking about Premier League. Shout out to Brighton, big win this weekend. But Light the Flame will be back in February. Our Olympics podcast, daily recap shows for the Olympics. We will have so much going on, and I'm so excited and nervous. And that's the challenge of owning and running an internet company, is just making sure you're on top of your shit. And Underground Industries, I think, is going to have a massive 2026. Underground Sports Philadelphia is going to continue to grow. This thing is going to the fucking moon because of you guys. And I really, really am pumped for what this year is going to bring. I've got a new social series popping off on my personal Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, that I've been collaborating with the Underground Industries account on Instagram with, so definitely check that out. It's called Fridge Facts. Every single day, it's my challenge to myself to post daily content for the entire year. I want to be able to do this for the entire year, and it's just a fun fact every single day throughout 2026, and we'll see if it carries beyond 2026. We'll see if I can keep up with it all year. But as my challenge to myself is to open up my fridge, deliver a fun fact for you all, and then call it a day. But Fridge Facts, so far so good, I'd say. So far so good. We've had ones that have hit. We've had ones that didn't hit as much as I thought they would. Posted one today about Derrick Henry. It's probably our second best one on YouTube. Actually, third best one on YouTube. We had one that was a dud, but nonetheless, they're doing their thing. I want to see how they're doing on Instagram, actually. Oh, I just saw the Stavi. About the Ravens. That's incredible. Yeah, I mean, people are going to fall off from watching a first episode of something, and it's just truly an internal challenge to me to stay consistent with something and post daily content and make sure it gets out on time. And been doing it at night, which is kind of funny. It's kind of your late night fridge cravings. Boom, here you go. Here's a fun fact as you go to the fridge. But I'm excited for how it's turned out so far. Done 4, and we'll see how it continues. And it's just another Underground Industries project, baby, just on my personals. So definitely go check that out. Yeah, Underground Industries. We're here, baby. The Underground Industries Podcast Network. It flows so much better. But go follow Underground Industries on Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube at The Underground Industries across all 3 of those platforms. We'll be on Facebook and Twitter soon enough. Just working on getting the right handle for Twitter because it's a longer name and everything. But nonetheless, we're making it rock and roll. That's all I got for you guys on this one. Birds are going to the playoffs. It's fuck the 49ers. Fuck the 49ers. I hate the 49ers week. Be sure to follow us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Spotify users, don't be alarmed if you see video content available. We're trying to get the show viewable on Spotify. Working on all the ins and outs, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia and Underground Industries YouTube channels. YouTube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week. Full video episodes of every show of our original 6 shows on the network. But if you go to the collabs tab, you can watch the house show with Pat Pitts and our 2024 Summer Olympics Light the Flame episodes. But those are on the channel anyway. What am I saying? Just the house show is the only one that's differentiator, but it's in the collabs tab. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Smash that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. We're at 1,238 subscribers. Can we get to 1,300 before the end of the month? Let's find out, shall we? And youtube.com/@TheUndergroundIndustries. That is the network channel. We're working on some stuff for that channel and building it up and making it big, bold, and beautiful, okay? Go subscribe. Be a friend. Tell a friend. And this show, ladies and gentlemen, is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. Yes, my hometown is our presenting sponsor. And if you are a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. A big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 809 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. The Birds are going to the playoffs, NFC East champions. Fuck the 49ers. We'll see if the Phillies sign JT and or Bo Bichette this week. We'll see the Flyers and Sixers keep it rocking and rolling. And whatever the hell else comes up on the next episode, we'll talk all about it on Thursday's episode, which I'll be recording on Wednesday, as I always do. But until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here. I'm signing off. Go Birds, dickhead. Peace.